me. Ah, whew, welcome. New moon in Taurus. Wow. What a day. It's dreary today. It's really dreary today. It's rainy, cloudy, windy. It's kind of miserable outside today, but we, as they say, we need the rain. My daughter is still in Arizona and she's loving it. She's loving the weather. The heat. She loves heat. So it's nice and warm there. It's not really rainy there. So she's really just thoroughly enjoying this weather. Man, my eyesight's getting bad because I'm just so blurry without my glasses. So hang on, I got to click because I had a spot on my glasses. I didn't notice before till now. So welcome. Same rainy lots there. Well, they say they need the rain. So, but here in Calgary, they're still under drought management and looking at the drought management. Yeah. And I guess, also here in Calgary, we have a stupid bylaw where it's for one-use products or one-use bag. Like if you go and order your hamburgers from wherever, or you ask for a bag or utensils, you have to pay for them. So they're looking at reversing that. It's a bylaw here in Calgary. It's a dumb bylaw. It's a dumb bylaw. I mean, if you go to let's say you're going through the drive-through, you're by yourself and you're ordering for your family and you're ordering a hamburger for this one, that one, and fries and stuff. You have to make sure you come with your own bag because they just give it out in this plexiglass thing and dish, and then you got to take your stuff out of that. And then it's just ridiculous. Or you ask for a bag and they charge you anywhere from 15 cents is the average to some places I've seen charge like 30 cents and 50 cents and stuff, which is highway robbery. I think it's, but they're worried about the landfill and blah, 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 blah. Oh my goodness gracious, so many other things. It is a huge system that we are dealing with right now. Yes. Oh, with the rain and stuff. Oh yeah, I know. Hey, the scarf. I want to show you my scarf. See this scarf? I found it. I went for a walk with the puppy, and there was this bag that was sitting there. And plus it's a little bit chilly down here, so I went to wear a little scarfy thingy. It's a Lululemon one too, so it's $30 scarf. There's a bag, and I was like, okay, this is weird, and nobody was around, and so I thought, oh well, what's in the bag? And so I opened it up, and there was a purse, and I thought, okay, oh wow, did somebody steal this purse? So I'm going through it to see if there's any information, and the purse was pretty tattered and stuff, but inside the purse was this. It was weird. It was weird. Hopefully you washed it. No. I just threw it on. And there you go. So you got, yeah. So I found it the other day. It'll get washed. It'll be fine. It's right as rain. It was fine. I don't overthink these things. Everybody else does. Did you do this? No, I just carried on and just used it. And threw it on. I remembered I had it and it was chilly down here, and I said, oh wow, I'm gonna put this on. So yeah. So I'm not breaking out with a rash. I'm okay. I'm good. I've been wearing it all morning. I'm good. And it smelled fine. But I thought it was just weird the way it was all wrapped up in this bag and everything else. So I thought, oh, okay. So the universe gave me a little prezzy, which is nice because sometimes it's nice to have little prezzies and things. So Mateus is homesick today, had a really bad cough and stuff, coughing all night. So got him his cough syrup and that. So staying home today, see how he is, and probably go to school tomorrow. So But yeah, so that's it. That's the news for the day. So let's look at this new moon. What about this new moon? I sent out a blog and with a new moon ritual on it. So hopefully you got it. If you didn't get it, please let me know and send me your email and I'll add you to my blog list. And yeah. So here we got. This is one of the first things that came to me today was things about vows. And part of my prayers and stuff that I was listening to this morning, because I woke up like, what about vows? Because vows are huge and what vows are. And that commitment. And then of course, then I was thinking about that energy with Taurus and the relationship with vows. But going into vows, because vows are sacred. And I know through doing any type of releasement or any releasement with people and the vows that you've made in past lives have a lot to do with how you live this life. So I've come across, clients who've made vows that I'll never love again. And then they come into this lifetime and they're like, oh, I can never find love. Why can't I find love? And so we do a past life regression and we find, oh, well, you made a vow. I had one of my clients was in an Iron Maiden. It was crazy. And she even dreamt of being in an Iron Maiden. She never told me anything about this, but she used to have dreams about this being, put into an Iron Maiden because of something to do with love, or the love that she had was like she loved the wrong person and that person loved her, and the drama of it all. So, just that, doing that past life regression. And we got to the point of her being put into the Iron Maiden. And it's crazy. Iron Maiden women in uniform. No, I don't want the lyrics. I want a woman. I'm gonna just see if I can pull that woman. Put in a Iron Maiden helmet. Yeah. Hold on. You get everything else nowadays. You don't get no. So the Iron Maiden mask, the actual medieval. I'm gonna say medieval.
Where is that boy?
I don't know. It's probably in the bedroom.
I just hope you don't mash up that bed.
I'm online, Steve.
Sorry.
Tell my husband I'm online before he goes off. What was it? Middle Ages? Hang on. Middle Ages. So yeah. So here are some pictures of, and she's an artist too. Share the screen. I'm going to share the screen. So this is a picture of some of the things that she drew, like of what she saw herself being put in. Now she saw herself into something like this, being put into an Iron Maiden, right? And that energy of being put into something like this and the torture of it. And many times when people were put into the Iron Maiden was because they, they did something wrong. They, let's hold on. What's this one? Yeah, the Iron Maiden torture devices. Being put into it because of, you did something wrong, or you whatever the king or the law was of the land, and you did something wrong. So anyways, I mean, they're quite horrendous, these things, right? And of course, let's go down a whole thing on the Iron Maiden. Why not? We're going to go down a whole thing on the Iron Maiden. So the Iron Maiden, I allow for the cookies because I'm we're going to stop the share. on what the Iron Maiden is. Don't ask me why we're doing this, but this is what. But the Iron Maiden said to be the most brutal torture device in medieval era. Now, for her, the Iron Maiden is perhaps one of the most recognizable medieval torture devices. And then you had Scooby Doo. Cartoons like Scooby Doo brought it out to the forefront and things like that. But it is a human shaped box decorated on the inside with incredible sharp spikes. Now, for her, when she envisioned this device that she had when we did, the past life, and she was wondering about the vows that, of why she couldn't love, because the vow that she made was to never love again. And that because of the pain and torture that she had to go through in that timeline with that person that she was in love with, who was like it was almost like she was a scullery maid and he was the lord of the land or something, and he sort of like overstepped her bounds, or overstepped the bounds with the king on the direction of where each person was supposed to go. Anyways, and being locked away into this device. Now, she brought that through many timelines. Like, we went through different timelines with her, and through each of the different timelines that she found that either she had love kept being lost, or the person was taken away, or they were killed, or some kind of crazy things were happening. And in this timeline, in this timeline that she's in and living in now, was trying to break that vow, trying to undo what it was, and undo that that vow, because vows are sacred. So when you make a vow of a certain thing, so that's why for many who have money problems in that, like I know through my own past lives, where I've been in monasteries and nunneries and different things in my past life, where my vow was either to an emperor or to a king or to a god that I would not hold value, or I would not have money and things like that. A vow of poverty. So those vows stick with you within this lifetime, right? Some people make different vows. So when you do make a vow, it is a sacred, it goes way back um in the times of Abraham and Abram, and even before then. So we have these, these this I'm going to say this energy, that when we do things, it brings forth this concrete energy within us, because it is a sacredness that we are declaring. And especially when we declare it across all times, all time immemorial, across all dimensions, and through all time, dimensions, and future. You make these things and you don't think anything of it at times. But vows being a very sacred thing. Now, I'm bringing it up during the new moon is because many times, because this is Taurus, this rules our senses, this rules, you know, um, everything about the human form, and bringing that human form to this world. Taurus, it's taxal, it's here, and many times we will, within this form, and especially if you're doing a new moon ritual, it's like being aware of the words that you are utilizing, being aware in the contents of how you are putting your words together. It's so important to really watch your words, and how you are saying your words, and how you are creating your spell, or you're creating your prayer. So it's very important for you to really um, be aware of that kind of frequencies that you are putting out into the world. This is where the power is, and this is where the power, the moment towards it, because we want to be happy, but we got to watch within it, the toxic items that you're taking in on, right? So watching that toxicity that comes in with taking on the words that you say, and how they will not only affect you, but they do affect the people around you. That's why a lot of times when you watch the news and everything, and you watch the headlines, you really have to read the headlines because a lot of people just sort of skim over it. They don't look at what the words are. And hold on, that doesn't make any sense, right? And then you look at the article and stuff, you're like, oh, okay, I get it. Because they will twist words around and they'll twist the meanings around when they are writing things. So it's very important for us to be aware in how we are, what we are saying and how we are saying it. So this new moon is at 8:22 p.m., which is I have my little thing here. It says 11:22 p.m. Then, but that's Eastern Standard Time. So 8:22 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 9:22 Mountain Time. So we have, and I love it when the moon is in the evening, like, when the moon happens in the evening, it just feels more magical than when, you get a new moon that happens during, the peak of that, and that energy is in midday or something like that. It's just doesn't feel the same. But anyways, so having this new moon, it's about our values and the feeling about it and the layers. And it's also going to be squaring Pluto and sextiling Neptune and Saturn. So this is really bringing in a very interval of the underworld and that energy of the underworld, because those outer planets are within the God realm, except for Saturn. Saturn's just on the verge of going into the God realm. But when you're looking at Neptune and Pluto, those two planets are within what they've called the God realm, the other side of the astral plane. Um, and as you are going into these dimensional beings, it is where they can be very much, because you got to think they're rulers. Neptune is the ruler of the sea and Pluto is the ruler of the underworld. So they do have sometimes an ulterior motive. There is a darker side to them. So we're finding that we really have to be aware as we are walking upon our earth walk, upon this energy, especially within this Taurus energy, of what our temptations may be and where those temptations be, especially with Venus being in there. So it's very central. So central energy, how things feel, the tactile energy, right? So we want to be aware of what that is, because you can get lost in oh wow, this is so luscious and good and yummy, and the overindulgence of it all. And then Neptune can really heighten that overindulgence and say, yeah, look at this, because he can bring in the other pieces to that, which are illusionary, these illusionary parts. And this is where, again, we can get into a place where we can be deceived in different ways. So it's coming back down, coming back into the grounding, coming into this into our bodies, and allowing ourselves to be really aware of our senses, being aware of what our senses is. It's like, the foods that we eat. So what do you eat in the morning? If you're eating something sweet in the morning, especially with Taurus energy, it could really, heighten your sugar levels. And then it could, with heightening your sugar levels, and you're craving those sweets all day, and you could get very within your head, you can get dizzy or disoriented and things like that. So it's very good, especially within this with the sun being in Taurus and being in the Taurus, and it's starting with something savory, something with some fiber in it as well. So that brings in where it's like bringing in the cleansing and the clearing of our bodies, but allowing ourselves to come into that grounding and be within the grounding, because it is very where Neptune is at 29 degrees can be very deceptive and coming into a very deceiving kind of way. So your dreams might be extremely vivid right now. You might be finding that there's a lot of information coming through your dreams. So being aware of your dreams, keeping a dream journal with that is important as well. So watching, and a lot to do with psyche. So you're bringing that down into this world with Neptune there, your psyche, popping things, information coming in can be very vivid. But you got to be also, again, this is where things can be more deception and illusionary, and especially where Jupiter's going towards um, a binary star, because it flashes algo. um and as it gets closer to algos is known as the demon star. Okay, so there's a lot of deception that's coming in and around us as we are stepping into this beautiful energy of this new moon, right? So it's like almost where we are stepping into something that is beautiful and wondrous, and allowing ourselves to step forward into something of grandeur. Yet there are walls that want to come down, and they don't want you to have the grandeur, they don't want you to have the beauty, and they don't want you to have those types of things, because if you do, then you're not following maybe their agenda or what they are wanting to bring forth for you. So this is very powerful, very powerful, very powerful for the connection with your body, and coming deep to the deep need of security. And that's the other part too, because when you're stepping into your own power and you're stepping into your own direction, it's scary. It's scary. It's like, oh my God, this is not, I want to, have security. I want to make sure I have security. And what I do, I don't have security. There's, you know, a um a deception within the world that in doing, maybe you're going towards your dream, and you're going to go to do something that you really love and you really want to do it, but yet this there's a deception, right, that comes in and says, well, you can't do that, you don't go there, you're getting yourself, it's going to get you, you're going to be poor, you're going to, and then that brings up all of this stuff within inside of yourselves, and it could trigger, past lives and past life vows and things that get you to waver upon the direction that you want to go into. And this new moon is really wants you to create that layer of foundation, that road, that pavement of going forward. And this is, where it is going to be slow and steady, and those emotions can rise up. So of course, when the emotions rise up, what do we go to? We want to satisfy those emotions in some way. Now, unknown caller. That could be through drugs and alcohol. That could be through, um, because of where Neptune is, can bring in the drugs and alcohol, can also bring in other, where you want to indulge in something sweet, chocolatey, and I'm not saying not to have it, but if you're overindulging on it, it could be, wanting to have that, and be over obsessive with it. So it's being aware of that, and how you are being in that indulgence. It's like, it's okay if you're going to have a slice of cake, have a slice of cake, but you don't have to have the whole damn cake. If you're going to have, if you can have a chocolate bar, but not having 10 chocolate bars per se, that kind of thing. So really being watching how you're doing it. And the other part too is that if you are trying to manage your sugar levels, which is very much part of this energy too, is that you got to really watch how you are managing that. The sugar levels are coming in, so the nutrients in your nutrition and the system, and setting a tone for that for you for the day. So it's like, if you, let's say, I'm going to pick on Charlene, because Charlene made butter tarts, and that's what just random. So if you made all these butter tarts, how are you? The thing is that, are you eating a butter tart a day, or are you having just a butter tart, every second day or something? Or are you having a butter tart in the morning and then a butter tart in the evening, kind of thing? And that's sort of like a little bit too much, because of that sugar that's all in it. So it's really watching how you are intaking the sugary content, because That could bring in where uh, you have a craving for it all day, and it gets where you are, um, your blood sugars and everything gets out of whack. So, and that's where, and then of course, that brings in other things that can trigger you. So, so this moon is getting us to be extremely aware of the way that we think, because it manages different parts of the brain, um, the cerebral, and oh, what's the other part? I think I wrote it down. The occiput and the cerebral, which is, part, different parts of hemisphere within the brain. So it manages that. So watching how they they work. Just hang on here. The occiput and the cerebral part of the brain. So the cerebral part of the brain consists of two cerebrals, the hemisphere, the outer layer called the cortex or the gray matter, and the inner layer, which is the white matter. And there are four lobes in the cortex: the frontal, the partial, the temporal, and the octorial lobe. And this review article follows. So, so we have these different parts of the brain that are being affected with this moon. So how we are responding to it. Interesting. I just learned. So this has to, so when we're looking at it, this is about our speech, our judgment, thinking, and reasoning, problem solving, emotions, learning, our vision, hearing, touch, all have to do, which is all about the senses of what Taurus rules, and then the lower jaw, it rules as well. So when we're looking at, how are we speaking, how are we judging ourselves, how are we thinking and reasoning, is all a part of this moon energy as well. Pretty fascinating, bringing in, and also our thyroid. So all of these senses, are ruled, but Venus ruled, can block some of these connections, and through the power, through her power. So that's where the balancing is so important, and coming into this balancing. So the layers of this moon are quite intense and quite expansive, right? And it, for me, it just started with me thinking about a vow this morning, and how that took me down a crazy, crazy, crazy road, and how all of those connections, and how we speak, and how we connect. And it's so important in watching how we speak and how we connect with everything. And with this moon, and how, and the words that we use are exceedingly important, especially today. And watching what we're banishing, right? So the banishment. So if you are wanting to banish something, what are you banishing? Right? To banish forevermore. It's like, a lot of times with people, they put a protection, they have a store, and then they'll put a protection over their store, so that no one may enter the store that is evil or ill intent. But this is the funny part, is that when you got it, it's like, yeah, that sounds really great, but you got to be very aware, of what that is, because the thing is that person may not have ill intent with you. Maybe that person really had a bad day, and they needed to get something within your store because um they're having issues with somebody, and they need, and they might, be wanting to banish that person, or wanting to get something out of their life. Well, that energy that you just placed could be seen that as ill intent, and that person won't be able to have, you know be able to enter your store. So it's really important to watch how you banish, and how you do protection over your store and over what you do. So it's like, instead of saying, I banish all and no one with ill intent can enter my store, blah, blah, blah. Instead, say, I bring forth love and the intent of love and the highest good for all. And I ask for the blessings of all the angels and all the saints to watch over and bless my store for the prosperity and the abundance, not only for myself, but for those who enter my store. So now you're bringing in the highest good. You're bringing in the positivity. So that person, when they walk by, it's like they're coming in to bring you prosperity. They're coming in. And then through that, you might be able to guide them with whatever is going on within their life and give them that guidance that they need. See? So that's how powerful this new moon is. This new moon is like bringing forth such a I got like a landing, such a strip of creativity and bringing forth that creativity. So it is. It's very it's a very powerful, beautiful new moon with a lot of potent energy that can bring such greatness for us all and such goodness for us all. And it's also one that really brings in an awakening. There's an awakening that comes in with this as well, so which is very cool. So I'm very hyped with this energy. I'm very hyped with this energy. You might feel overwhelmed at times with it. There's an overwhelmness with it, a little because it has to deal with the senses and things that you are um you are hanging on to. So just being aware of that. I have salt and crystals on my window. Yeah. So, which is cool. Yeah. It's it's all of that of the it's your intent, because intent, of that energy of the intention of what it is that you are putting out there is important. And what that intention is. It's like I got like with the salt, maybe mixing the salt with cinnamon because you want to bring in the prosperity and abundance. Um, yes, you want to ward, it's like funny because we want to ward off evil, we want to ward off that, but I don't know. There's where I'm just feeling like there's this. Yes, we want to bring in the protection. I get that. Yeah, bringing in protection, but also bringing forth, focusing more on bringing in the love and abundance more than there's a lot of drug addicts and for my stories, and they just wander around. And I did cinnamon and stuff too. Cool. Um, I just got like, I'm going for all. It's bringing forth the highest good and love. Taurus wants to bring in love. It's Venus. It's Venus ruled. So Venus loves love. So bringing the highest of love into all that you do and the intent that you do. So bringing forth when you're, especially if you've done, I'm going to say, a vow of poverty. Many of us have. And now you want to break that vow. And so now in order to not so much break the vow, it's not breaking the vow, it's releasing the energy of that vow, releasing the energy of what you cast in the lifetime before. So when you cast that vow in the lifetime before, now you want to release that and be released of it. So to be released of it is that you want to say, want to bring forth the prosperity and the abundance for the highest good for yourself and for those around you. And allow for that prosperity to come forth through you, with you, and in you, and around you, in all that you say and all that you be and do. And being able to step forward with the abundance of what the divine opens up to you, and you blessing all that you receive. Yeah. Wow, that's pretty powerful. Don't ask me to repeat that, please, because I don't think I could repeat that. But that's where this, especially with this new moon in Taurus, is bringing forth that and bringing forth that love with that. The other thing too is like the healing, releasing so much energy. Like I had an ear infection, but ears are ruled by Taurus. It's the senses of hearing. What is it that I was not to hear? What was I not, allowed to create? you know and there's so much of that energy. There's so much of that energy of even eye infections, lower jaw. I have had people who've had teeth. TMJ is part of Taurus rule and stuff. So this is going a little deeper, especially with the moon coming in and squaring Pluto. Pluto wants to bring you into that deepness. He brings you into the underground. He's a ruler of Scorpio. He wants to bring you through and bring you into that understanding and those layers of releasing. And that's opposite Taurus. Scorpio's opposite Taurus. So it's bringing you into a releasement, bringing you into those depths. And sometimes you don't want to go into those depths. You just want to have the fun and the fairies and the greatness and dancing around the fire and having this is so wonderful and so springy. But in that wonderful and springy and beautiful energy, what is that you are wanting to conjure? What is that you are wanting to create? And what is it that you are wanting to let go of that no longer is within your alignment? Now, you might mentally say, well, that's no longer in my alignment, but somehow energetically, it is still a part of your patterning, still a part of the pattern of who you are and what you've come into do within the releasement of your karma and the karma of your ancestors. So there's a karmic bond that comes in with all of this as well, and what you are releasing from that karma, from that, right? And that alignment. Because there's, you're mentally, you might say, oh, I'm done with this, or I'm done, I just want the love. But the thing is that what other karmic bonds that are within you that you are hanging on to within your energetic patterning that needs to be released. And that's part of your journey within this lifetime. And looking at that journey and how you are able to accept it. And in accepting it, that's in a way of you releasing it as well. Accepting that, yes, I did this or I said that, and I'm accepting that. I'm acknowledging that of what I've said, and now I'm able to, all right, I'll be able to bless all that does come in, and I'm not going to judge it. If I find a dime on the ground, I'm blessing that dime. If I find $2, I'm blessing the $2. That's where the energy's at. Where a lot of times we are thinking that, well, it's got to be more. I got to have more. I want the love. I want to have bigger love. I want to have greater love. I want to have the romance. I want to be the pretty girl. I want to be the one that gets rescued by the man or whatever it is, or rescued by the woman. This is where, it's like looking at, it's like, no, I got to bless all that's coming in. I got to allow for that and be within that alignment so that that's where the happiness, and be happy now. If we're not happy now with what we have, bringing that stuff in is not going to make any difference. You got to find the happiness and the joy and the wonder within what you have at this present moment. If you're thinking that it's over here, it's over here, it's over here, this is going to make me happy. Once I get that, my life is fine. Doesn't work that way. Doesn't work way. And that's part of that energetic patterning. That energetic that we have within us. It's just like, no, it's got to be over here. And it's like, no, this is where it's like, what do we have? Well, hey, you know what? What do I have? That's why gratitudes are so important, and finding those gratitudes. I am so grateful that for XYZ, right? And being grateful for all of that and more. Whew, what a day this is going to be. So tonight I have Journey Club. So I sent out the link. I think I sent it out twice to everybody for Journey Club. If you did not receive it, let me know. So the link has been sent out to you all for Journey Club. My buy one, get one free. My Mother's Day special is on till Saturday. So if you are wanting to get a reading, so it's buy one, get one free. And it ends on Saturday. And what else is going on? Yeah, well, I'm going to Manville or Vermilion at the end of the month. And so every day I say how grateful I am for everything that I have. Nice. Now get specific. Get specific. And that's the key is being specific. It's like when we're doing our gratitudes, if you took Journey Club, when you're going into Journey Club, we look at specifics. What is it that you're grateful? Well, I'm grateful for everything I have. Cool. All right. What do you have? What is that I'm grateful that I have my computer. I'm grateful that I have my phone. I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful that he's able to cook and feed me and nourish me. That's what I'm grateful for. I love that he can find anything in the fridge and be able to cook from it and make something from it. I love it. That was one of the key components when I first met him. And he looked into my freezer because he goes, well, what do you have to cook? And I'm like, oh, I have nothing. And he found some chicken wings or something. He goes, oh, I can make something out of this. And bang, he made something out of the chicken wings. It was great. Those chicken wings would have stayed in my freezer for a hell of a long time because I had no idea what to do with them. But that's what I'm grateful. I'm grateful for my grandson, for his laughter and his smiles and everything that he's given to me. Steve is a definite keeper. Yes, he is a definite keeper. I'm not trading him in. He's it. That's it. You're it, Steve.
I know.
He knows. So, that's those are some of the key components, and bringing that love in and around. So, first of all, 5 of Summers. So trust there is a reason for everything that happens, and remove yourself from the negative emotions of others, focusing on that which frightens or worries you. So the 5 of Summers. Now in this deck, I think the 5 of Summers is the 5 of Wands. So looking at the 5 of Wands, so rising above anything that is there, because summer is fire. It's ruled. The heat of the summer is Leo, and bringing in that heat. And then we got the 4 of Pentacles, which is 4 of autumn. It's like manage your resources wisely. Achieve a balance in how you spread and save money. So the four is we had that yesterday. We had the 4 of Pentacles. So the 4 of Pentacles is like the restrictions that you might feel. So trust there's a reason on some of the things that are going on. So if you might find that you are being restricted in some way, that there is, that you have to achieve some balance, remove yourself from anything that you're feeling negative. So you might be feeling negative about something. You might be feeling overwhelmed about something. And so this is really looking at is, okay, I'm feeling frightened because whatever that frighten is, or whatever that fear is. And then if that, still is persisting in that, you give it up to the Holy Spirit and ask for inner peace and a miracle. And then you come in with the 7 of Winters, which is the 7 of Swords. There's a better choice. So a better choice is going to come in. And you may not be seeing everything as clearly as what you would like to see it, because there is a fear, and that fear will blind you. So in that fear, you give it up to the Holy Spirit and you ask for inner peace and a miracle. And as you're doing it, you may have to say that 1,000,001 times before you can see things clearly the way, because you might be running away from it because it doesn't look the way that you want it to look, or feel the way you want it to feel. And with that overallness, it's like you have the 6 of Pentacles that comes in. And that is, the good you do comes back to you. So the things that you do, the things that you put out, the things, how you help other people, even with a smile, comes back in a return for you. So understand that there's an unexpected flow that's coming in, and that to be open for it. But sometimes we might not see it because we are stuck in a negative emotion or a negative fear. And that's where we have to trust in God, that He is there guiding us, and He is the one that we have to give it up to and ask for that peace within us. So there you go. You all have such a blessed day today. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless you in all that you say and all you be and all you do. Have the Reiki class coming up on the 25th and 26th. If you're interested, let me know. You'll be getting your level 1 Reiki. That's what we'll be working on. And we'll talk to you all tomorrow. So have a great day. Blessings, everyone. Blessings.